We are learning more about the shooter. Our chief investigative correspondent Brian Ross here with new details. Good morning, Brian.
Well, good morning, George. The picture emerging this morning of the shooter is that of a 66-year-old man whose life was marked by failure and personal tragedy, outraged by the election of President Trump and a Republican Congress. As federal agents rushed to his home in Belleville, Illinois, his neighbors say James Hodgkinson, known to them as Tom, was an angry man who vented about politics as his life fell apart, appearing on the local Fox affiliate during an Occupy Wall Street protest in St. Louis.
The 99% are getting pushed around, and the 1% are just not giving a damn.
In last year's election, Hodgkinson actively supported Senator Bernie Sanders, serving as a volunteer in the Iowa primary, to the senator's disgust.
I am sickened by this despicable act.
Authorities still don't know what triggered his rampage at the baseball field. 2 years ago, on his Facebook page, Hodgkinson commented on an editorial cartoon critical of Congressman Steve Scalise. Here's a Republican that should lose his job. Then on March 22nd this year, Hodgkinson wrote, "Trump is a traitor. Trump has destroyed our democracy. It's time to destroy Trump and company." 2 days later, neighbors called police to say that Hodgkinson had fired off 50 shots into the air near his home.
That's when we brought the little kids in and called the sheriff.
The sheriff's report says no charges were brought. Hodgkinson's gun was not seized because, they said, he had a valid Illinois firearm owner's ID card.
He said he would quit shooting and that he would actually take his gun to a gun range where it was safer.
Just a few days later, Hodgkinson left for Washington, living out of his truck, showering in the morning at the YMCA in Alexandria, just across the street from the baseball field.
I could see things, that was very visible that looked like he was living out of his gym bag as opposed to just, clothes for the day.
He was a regular at the Pork Barrel Barbecue in Alexandria, remembered by bartenders as a creepy guy who spent long days drinking beer and watching golf on television.
He was pretty short and not exactly a warm, person.
Hodgkinson's wife told ABC News she thought he was about to come home this week, where reminders of his failed life awaited. His home inspection business had gone under at the end of last year, and much earlier, he was cut off from city business after some very strange behavior.
Going into the offices, rifling through a desk, and then becoming loud and vocal and having to be told to leave.
This morning, the FBI still has a lot of questions about this crazed shooter, his motives, his weapons, his associates, asking anyone who knew him or even came across him to contact the FBI.